used my little mic before?
I haven't used your mic before, but that's pretty cool.
So it's nighttime now, and well, it's not nighttime, but it's about to be. It's around 6:30, almost 7, and it's still the sun is out. It's summer, but we have a beautiful storm going on. So of course I had to take the opportunity to get in these cozy mom vibes because summer has been really hot. Oh my god. So today that it's been a little bit less scorching, I decided that we were gonna do this. We were gonna go full on the mom vibes and we were gonna talk about the books that I bought today because I have officially converted. Yes, I have turned to the dark side and I am now part of the true crime slash horror girlies. So if you watched my last video, you would have seen that I talked about this book that I read called The Butchering Art by Lindsay Fitzharris, and it's about the history of surgery and how insane it used to be. Basically, no anesthesia. It was literally butchering. But after reading it, I was so interested by these like historical. Well, that one wasn't a crime, but I mean, kinda. These real life history stories about these horrific stories. And I went to the Barnes and Noble section where I found that book to get some more. It's been a couple weeks since I bought a new book, and I decided that today I was gonna spoil myself. So it's not a big haul, but I bought myself 4 books, and 2 of them are this topic of true crime. So I'm gonna start with those. So first we have The Invention of Murder. This one says that murder in the 19th century was rare, but murder as sensation and entertainment became ubiquitous, transformed into novels, into broadsides and ballads, into theater and melodrama and opera, even into puppet shows and performing dog acts. So, this also is a historical book, so we are going to be going through some real life events, which are always fun because what better than have some horrific stories to tell at parties about the books you read where they dismember people. Yeah, so was while I was reading that other book, the medical book, I can now realize that I was going through a very annoying phase. Like, I was going through it, and I'm about to go through it again now, but with actual crime. And then for my second book, I got Lady Killers by Tori Telfer. And this is about some women serial killers in history. I already read the first like 2 pages because literally right after I bought it, I went to get some boba tea. And as I was waiting for my boba tea, I was like, I need to get started right away. Just because, look, first of all, look at the cover. Come on. And I thought it was really interesting. I was really hyped. So the topic is obviously women serial killers, and the author was inspired because there was an FBI. Okay, let me see if I get this right. There was an FBI agent that said back in the 90s. Oh, let me confirm. back in 19 in the 90s, they said that this lady was America's first serial killer, and it wasn't really right. It's just basically that women that were killers and serial killers in a lot of cases, they were really they weren't really recognized. And she has a very interesting perspective on this because she talks about how women have always been seen as the bad guy in stories. You have sirens who kill sailors, or you have witches, and a lot of these fantastical women that are always the villain. But when it comes to real life, it was a little like giving women too much credit for being able to be serial killers. It's kind of crazy because it's not a good thing to be a serial killer, but it's like crazy. Like, even that, we can't even have that. We can't even be serial killers. So they were like giving different excuses, like, oh, it's because of love, it was hormonal, or there's always a weird reason why a woman kills. And it's at the end of it all, it's how, because the system is ran mostly by men, sometimes only by men, the way that women's psyche is so unknown to them that it's basically like we're a complete different species, kind of going through it with more real facts that what it's usually known from them. Some cases, like we all know, the witches in the past that were killed because they were witches, they were just serial killers, you know what I mean? I am so interested to see what the perspective is on these stories because obviously we're not here to glorify what they were. So yeah, I'm interested because it focuses more on the aspect of female rage and all these complex emotions that women go through and what leads these women to do this. Okay, so for my next two books, these are more little fun purchases because these are not really necessarily like the kind of books that I'm gonna sit and binge read. These are more art books that I like to reference, and the first one is Leonardo da Vinci's Renaissance Master. Uh, it's hey, leave it. This one has some of the sketches of Leonardo da Vinci, his story, some of the stories behind the sketches. I actually have a bunch of books like that already because I am a collector when it comes to art books, and I needed this one. Besides, it was a super crazy sale. This one was on sale for $5. Course I was gonna grab it. I really like books like that for studies because even though you can always find pictures in Pinterest and all that, first of all, I always like having a physical copy of that because I am not very responsible when it comes to charging my stuff. My phone, my iPad, they're always dying. So I can't always rely on technology. I am an old school babe, because not because I chose that life, but because that life chose me. So yeah, since my phone and tablet are always dead, I always have pictures to reference when I want to do studies of, because I love doing like classic artist studies. So yeah, also I really want to get into learning the methods and the stories behind a lot of these artists because I feel like I've been a little bit stuck in a rut when it comes to my art. Like, I learned some techniques by myself watching YouTube and all that, and I got really comfortable there, and I haven't really evolved from there. And I thought it would be fun to try to challenge myself to learn from the greats of the past. For my second art book, we're following a similar theme. It's another um, art book, this time of Edward Manet. This one also goes into his story, into the story behind his paintings. Here's some of the pictures. I don't know if you can see. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some serious art studying with these books. And I'm gonna be taking them everywhere. So, yes, that's a little summary of my little book shopping experience of today. I am going to go back to painting because that's I need to take advantage of this weather. I'm gonna play some classical music in the background, really obnoxiously loud. I already lit up my candles, I set up my space. So I'm gonna paint for a little bit, and then once I get either finished or tired, whatever happens first, I will go back to reading Crime and Punishment. But today's a reading slash painting night. It's Sunday, it's storming, it's perfect. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. You don't even know my name, do ya? You love me like no other. Every word, baby, say you're mine. Go